Good. ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्तगोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। Yeah, it's the number 42. एताभ्याम् एव शक्तिभ्याम् एताभ्यामेव शक्तिभ्याम्
एताभ्यामेव शक्तिभ्याम्
बन्धः पुंसः समागतः।
बन्धः पुंसः।
Yeah, somebody is unmuted. Please unmute themselves, except Shanti. याभ्यां विमोहितो देहम्
याभ्यां विमोहितो देहम्
मत्वात्मानं भ्रमत्ययम्।
मत्वात्मानं भ्रमत्ययम्।
बीजं संसृतिभूमिजस्य तु तमः
बीजं संस्मृति भूमिजस्य तु तमः
देहात्मधीरङ्कुरः
देहात्मधीरङ्कुरः
रागः पल्लवमम्बु कर्म तु वपुः
रागः पल्लवमम्बुकर्म तु वपुः
स्कन्धोऽसवः शाकिकाः
गन्धोत्सवशाखिकाः
अग्राणीन्द्रियसंहतिश्च
अघ्राणीन्द्रियसंहतिश्च
विषयाः पुष्पाणि दुःखं फलम्।
विषयाः पुष्पाणि दुःखं फलम्।
नानाकर्मसमुद्भवं बहुविधम्
नानाकर्मसमुद्भवं बहुविधम्।
भोक्तात्र जीवः खगः
भोक्तात्र जीवः खगः।
श्रुतिप्रमाणैकमते स्वधर्मनिष्ठा
श्रुतिप्रमाणैकमते स्वधर्मनिष्ठा
तयैवात्मविशुद्धिरस्य
तयैवात्मविशुद्धिरस्य
विशुद्धबुद्धेः परमात्मवेदनम्।
विशुद्धबुद्धे परमात्मवेदनम्।
तेनैव संसारसमूलनाशः
तेनैव संसारसमूलनाशः।
Okay, we'll pause there. Yeah, so we completed the shloka. And this shloka is i- introducing the process, completing the question. What was the question that was completed? So, ātmā anātmā vivekaH. So that process is about to start. And here, so this bandha, topic of bandha, which started with shloka number 39. Atra anātmani ahamiti matihi. That is a bandha. So atra anātmani ahamiti matihi means we have to understand. We say it is our karma that is causing whatever we are experiencing in our life. That is a true statement. It's our karma. So then immediately the question becomes, how do I remove my karma? Correct? Because this karma is, if everything is karma, is punya karma only, punya karma, punya karma, punya karma, punya karma means it's good, no problem. We have no complaints. But that's not how it is. So this is, we're all Mishras. No, you're all Mishras. Don't think just because your last name is some Chandrasekhar or something. No, Chandrasekhar also is a Mishra. Gupta ji is also a Mishra only. Because Punya Papa Mishra it is. Punya Papa Mishra. All of us are. And therefore, this removing, and plus karma is inexhaustible, infinite karma, because infinite births are there. Finite karma means you can calculate, you can do something, you can wait it out. You can do a lot of punya karma and wait it out. There is a school that says, no, don't do punya karma also, because punya karma you have to exhaust, which is true. Oh, then what should I do? Don't do any punya karma, don't do any papa karma. That's how you should be, okay? Okay, this thing has its own flaws. Why? Because infinite karma is there. You can't simply say that and walk away. It won't work. You're doing a disservice to yourself. Gain some punya karma, but figure out, go beyond karma. How did this karma come about? That is a question that is being answered here. Atra anātmani ahamiti matihi. Therefore, the entire problem is converted to an intellectual problem. Anātmani ahamiti matihi. Rajau sarpaha iti matihi. Hey, in a snake, in a rope, if I have a snake buddhi, then I am going to react to the snake, not to the rope. I am going to react to the snake. And so Shankara is saying, same problem here also. And Swamiji would say, we are trying to solve a problem that does not exist, does not really exist. Only symptoms are existing, but there is no virus to remove. There is no bacteria to kill, unlike some fever and all these things. So, therefore, and why? Because it is not a virus, it is not an object that has created a problem. It is the appearance of an object. How about that? Appearance only. It's an appearance. Appearance of a snake is all that is enough. So, whether it's a real snake or an imagined snake, I suffer the same thing, same set of problems. Okay. So, here imagined, that is a key word here. Atra anātmani ahamiti matihi. So, then he talked about this Shakti Dvayam hi Mayayaha. Vikshepavritarupakam, like that he says in Atma Bodha. And here also, in a different way, he's saying the same thing. 140 was Avriti Shaktihi and Vikshepakya 41. Rajasaha Uru Shaktihi Vyathayati. We saw all these things. And then he explains a little more. So about the samsara vriksha he talked about in 43. Bijam samsriti bhumi jasya. Samsara vrikshasya darshanam. This is how the life is. If you can imagine the tree, then you will know that this tree has no end. No end. Because it has no beginning also. No beginning, no end. If it has a beginning, you can say something. but you can't. You can't. So nadi moolam na vicharayet, rishi moolam na vicharayet, like that they say. So don't ask all these questions. Where did the river start from? You might end up at Gangotri. But then somebody has to say, where is the water coming from? It won't just come like that. Something has to happen. Then you have to go underground. Underground glaciers will be there. Then what about those glaciers? What about those water sources? Where is that coming from? So there's no end to it. Therefore, Rishi Moolam also. You can't ask who is my first Rishi and all. We have tentatively said Bhrigu, Vasishta and all these names we have given, they are our Rishis. We go with that. And so he says, then he says in 44, Shruti Pramana Eka Matehe. For this problem, a solution for this problem exists only in the Shruti. Shruta Veva Drishyate. Shruti Vina Atra Vimokshaha Nasti. He's introducing the idea of Shruti. Shruti Pramanam. Okay. So that Shraddha in the Shruti is required. Without the Shraddha, there is no chance. I can't come to the Shastram as a doubting Thomas. I can have a lot of doubts. That is good. So you have a lot of doubts. But the Shruti itself is doubted means then we have a problem. So starting problem will be there. And so to just zoom ahead, we need to have Shraddha in the Shruti. So that we have based on our past current life, past decades of the life, we have gained that Shraddha in it. That's why we are here, we are studying this Shastram. And then Swadharma Nishta I talked about, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. That was a previous shloka we completed, number 44. What was introduced by Bhagavan Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita was put in a different way by Shankaracharya. Now, he is going to talk about answering the last question of the student. tayoH vivekaH kathaM etadusyatam. Hey, ātmā and anātmā problem. You described anātmā, you described ātmā. They are different, you said, okay. And then you also said atra anātmani ātma buddhihi. So in anātmā, I think of anātmā as ātmā, while they are really two different things. Okay, you told me that also. Now, how? Next, what should I do? These are all just statements. These statements are meant for me to appreciate the type of problem I have. It's a cognitive problem, matihi. The matihi is key there. The matihi problem. And so a mistaken identity is there, and therefore there's only one solution to this mistaken identity problem, and that is to decondition myself from this mistaken identity and teach me what is the real identity. Teach me who I am. Okay, that is what it is. Who I am. That is what is going to happen. So ātmā anātmā vivekaH. tayoH vivekaH kathaM etadusyatam. The last question of the student will become the content of the rest of the chapter. No more questions are there. I believe this is the 7th question of the 7 questions. Okay. So let's chant this next shloka number. I think I've given the translation. Is it not? Yeah. So shloka number 45. Muñjādiṣīkam. Yeah, Shravanaji. Muñjādiṣ. Ready?
Which number would it be otherwise ordinarily?
Yeah, so that'll be around 155, 156, 157. You have to look for muñjādiṣīkamiva. It's not going to be easy because these numbers keep changing in different texts.
Or 155 something.
Muñjādiṣīkamiva dṛśyavargāt.
Muñjādiṣīkamiva dṛśyavargāt.
Pratyaṃcamātmānamaṅgamakriyam.
Pratyaṃcamātmānamaṅgamakriyam.
vivicya tatra pravilāpya sarvaṃ
vivicya tatra pravilāpya sarvaṃ
tadātmanā tiṣṭhati yassa muktaḥ.
tadātmanā tiṣṭhati yassa muktaḥ.
Once again, muñjādiṣīkamiva dṛśyavargāt
muñjādiṣīkamiva dṛśyavargāt
pratyaṃcamātmānamaṅgamakriyam
pratyaṃcamātmānamaṅgamakriyam
vivicya tatra pravilāpya sarvaṃ
vivicya tatra pravilāpya sarvaṃ
tadātmanā tiṣṭhati yassa muktaḥ.
tadātmanā tiṣṭhati yassa muktaḥ.
Yeah. So you can underline the following words. Vivicya, these are all verbs. Vivicya, pravilāpya, tiṣṭhati, muktaḥ. All right. So this is going to be an introduction, a general introduction to or general answer to the student's question. tayoH vivekaH kathaM. How do I make, you've defined anātmā to me, you've defined ātmā for me, I now understand. And I also understand that I've confused anātmā to be ātmā. How can you do that? Two things can't be confused, only then you can use the things properly. And you can lead a proper life. But this is a major problem. And so that also I've understood. But now process, take me through the process. Okay. So this is a general introduction to that process. And then details will continue. Okay. And so this, you have to know. You have to know what ātmā is. You have to know what is anātmā. You have to know what is ātmā. And my identity should shift from anātmā to ātmā. That is the whole process. That's all it is. That's all it is. But that is it. It may take a while. It will take a while. It can take a while. Depending on our own preparedness for this. That is why previous shloka karma yoga was talked about. So Shuddha Vishuddha Buddhihi, Shankara said. That to come to that Vishuddha Buddhi, we need some effort. Dharma, maybe there are some corners. Some sharp corners are there. They have to be rounded. They have to be rounded out. Okay, all the Shama Damadi is there. We talked about earlier, Shankara. Shankara said all the qualifications, quote unquote. And I'm looking for my resume qualifications and this Shankara's qualifications. They're not matching at all. Why it's not matching? Hey, that is prayer's resume. I did this, I grew up here, I did that, I got this grade and I got that award and all that. That's all, let it be. It's all important, no doubt. But nowhere that they are also hidden in that is all the attributes. What are the values? Okay, that is why interview is important. Interview, they'll try to find out what is it that makes you successful. How do you deal with conflicts? Do you panic or do you accept the fact and then try to find solutions with a stable mind? These are the things they are looking for, which is not there in the resume. And so, this adhikaritvam, developing the adhikaritvam is really what life is about. Because Vedanta is easy. Rest of the Vedanta is easy actually. And so that is why we lead a dharmic life. Duty becomes very important. So this Varnashrama Dhamma for us is so important. Serving society, Pancha Mahayajna we talked about some time ago. And so all that becomes very important. Then we get Chitta Shuddhi. Then we grasp what is being said. And so Swamiji here says, Paramathanandaji, intellectual problem. And therefore it has to have an intellectual solution. And all a sampradaya with one who understands this problem. One who understands this, what Shankara has written all this time, all along, describing what the problem is, describing how to anātmā, ātmā, and then tayoH vivekaH kathaM. After all, it is Shankara's question only in the form of a student. And so that person who knows this process is called a sampradaya with, one who knows the sampradaya. How should this karma kanda, my duty bound life, what should it get me? I don't know what it will get me. Punyam it will get me, so I am gaining punyam. But more than punyam, now I want what is called chitta shuddhi. And chitta shuddhi what is going to take me to jnana kanda. So Swamiji says, Paramarthananda, sampradaya with, only a sampradaya with knows this. A sampradaya with should say, even if the person is teaching Ramayana or Mahabharata, look at this, they should say, this is Puranaha. And what is the purpose of listening to all this? Chitta Shuddhi. When I connect with Sri Rama, then I will become like Sri Rama. When I connect with Arjuna, I'll become like Arjuna. That is the purpose of all these Puranas. And then, but it won't give me moksha. Chitta Shuddhi it will give me. Then what about moksha if I want? Yeah, first you must want moksha. Mumukshutva must be there. Then slowly I will want it. And then I have to come to this Brahma Vidya. Okay. And so that person who knows that is called a sampradaya with. Somewhere in the Bhashyam, I don't know where, in Bhagavad Gita Bhashyam, I'll find out and tell you later. Shankaracharya says, people who simply talk about Puranas and keep telling stories, they are asampradayavits. They are not sampradayavits. And asampradayavit murkhavat upekshaniyaha. May you treat them as fools. Fools means what? Ignorant people. Not fools. Means they are good in what they do. But they don't know. They don't know the stuff. They don't know where this Puranas, what is it going to do to me? They are not clear. Because they are not telling it to the people. When they talk to people individually or in the public, they should say. They should say Bhagavatam. No, this 11th Adhyaya, 11th Skanda is there, which is where Vedanta. All these Skanda should lead me to 11th chapter. But 11th is ignored. Ignored. They stop with the story. Shringeri Acharya sends a letter to all the Upanyasakaras and saying, hey, you don't stop with Upanyasa, you have to tell them what next. Or after listening to all the stories, you have to listen to the story of Nachiketa also. Did you listen to the story of Nachiketa? Like that, you should take them there. Okay. And so that point Swamiji mentions here. And so if you ask me, suddenly it gave me the idea. What differentiates Satya Yuga from Treta Yuga, from Dwapara Yuga, from Kali Yuga, if you ask me? I'll give you a definition. I don't know. I've not studied all these things that much, yugas and all. But I'll come up with a definition. You can think about it. Hey, Satya Yuga. Commitment to Paramarthika Satyam is this is the norm of people living in that Yuga. They're aware of the reality of the self, or they know that they must go after the reality of the self. That is their goal, life's mission. They know that is Satya Yuga. You come all the way down here, then it is Dharma Pradhana. What is Dharma Pradhana? Treta Yuga. Don't quote me, okay? This is just my imagination. I want you to think about it. Don't spoil my whatever little name I have. So, so Treta Yuga. Treta Yuga, Dharma Pradhana. Moksha is not there. Dharma is there, but. So it's good Yuga. Then a little further down. Artha Pradhana. Artha Pradhana. Then afterwards, what? Kali Yuga. Don't ask me. Kama Pradhana. This is my imagination. That's all. It may not be true, completely true, but there's something like that. So from Kama Pradhana, I have to go to Artha Pradhana. That's much better. That is why we tell people who are just simply sitting watching TV, hey, do something. Do something. That do something means what? At least be ambitious at least. I want a ton of money. Good. That's good ambition for you to have. You have to earn a living. Be excited. All that. Anyway, so here, Because Atma and Anatma are mixed up like this. That is why he is defining the two, and now I have to separate this Atma somehow from the body. That separation is talked about here. Okay? That process of separation is what Shankaracharya is mentioning here. So Atma Anatma, vivekaH. Okay. So Anatma already Shankara has explained. Shariratrayam. Shariratrayam. So Stula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, Karana Shariram. So here he is going to use a different definition for anātmā. He is going to talk about Panchakosha. Panchakosha is a different way of talking about anātmā, different way of categorizing anātmā. The trifold categorization is what? This physical, tangible thing that is there, that is hosting me, this body, is the Sthula Shariram. Okay, and then Sukshma is there, the mind and senses, and then Karana Shariram, that which holds on to all my karma, avidya, that is Karana Shariram. Okay, now he is going to start talking about Panchakosha, which is a fivefold division. Okay, so in which the first one, Stula Shariram, is the first kosha itself, which is the Annamaya Kosha. He's going to explain all this later, but I have to give you a little introduction. So Annamaya Kosha. Annamaya means the product of Annam is this Annamaya Kosha, which is the gross body. Then this Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, and Vijnanamaya Kosha. Three koshas are there. Everything is going to come later. Prana means all this physiological system, which is I don't see with my eyes directly. Directly, I don't see any oxygen. I can sense breathing, but the system I don't know. Okay, system is there, lungs and all this process, all these things are there. But that is sukshma. And so that prana, then this manas, mind is sukshma, and vijnanam, intellect. This three koshas. What are the three koshas in between? Pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha is all what we talked about earlier as sukshma shariram. Okay, and then last kosha is this last shariram is karana shariram, and so that is the last kosha, which is anandamaya kosha. There also Shankara said when he defined karana shariram, ananda, deep sleep, pure ananda, ajnanananda it is. All right. So that by understanding this panchakoshas, I can slowly disidentify with each of the koshas. That's the idea here. And so it is there in our Upanishads. It is there in our Kathopanishad also we studied. Indriyebhyah parahyarta arthebhyascha param manaha, and all we saw in Kathopanishad. So all these objects are there. Then sense organs are superior to objects. And then this one, Indriyebhyah parahyarta arthebhyascha param manaha, manasastu para buddhi, like that we saw there. Without using the word kosha, Yama introduced this pancha kosha and took us all the way to Hiranyagarbha there. From Vyashti, he took us to Samashti. Here also. So, in Taittiriya Upanishad, it is there. Bhrigu, when he's talking to his father, Bhrigurvaivarunihi. So, Bhrigu, the son of Varuna, is learning from Varuna. And so, there also, he does the Panchakosha Viveka. He says, I got it. Annam Brahmeti Vyajanat. I got it. Annam is the Brahma. Why? Because Annam protects the life. Without Annam, there is no life. So, like that in Brahmananda Valli also, there is a particular similar Panchakosha Viveka is there. Savayesha Purushonna Rasamayaha. So, Anna Rasamayaha. It is all a product of food, Annam, like that. Then Anyontara ātmā. pranamayaha. No, wait. No, body is not atma. Then anyantara atma, anyaha asti. There is another kosha called pranamaya kosha. And that pranamaya is the atma. No, pranamaya. Anyontara atma manomayaha. Anyontara atma vijnanamayaha. Anyontara atma nandamayaha. Like that he takes you all the way to anandamaya. So that Viveka, look at that, because it takes a while for us to keep moving, keep moving, keep disidentify with the body. Identify with the body when needed, disidentify when we look at ourselves. Who am I? Okay, so all these are there in the Shastram, and so that is the process he is going to take us through. Swamiji jokes here, Paramarthanandaji. He says, 100 students have registered online. Then this anātmā is talked about. Okay, so gross body, sthula shariram, and then 25 people say, what? I've come to study Vedanta. He's talking about body and all that. I am not joined a course on that. That is a doctor's thing. That is, he's teaching us medicine and all that. I'm not interested in all this. So 25 people drop off. So 75 people are there in the class now. Abba. Now, then what happens? Then he's talking about this sukshma shariram, manaha, indriyani, and all these things. At least body and all I could understand. This indriyani, mind, senses, and intellect and all that, it's too much. It's going above my intellect, you know. It's starting to go above my intellect. Not going above, starting to. So another 25 people gone after this class. then comes Karana Shariram, Maya, Avidya, all these things are coming. And this is just going over me, completely gone. So after this class, 25 people are there. Now stamina. Now it's a test of stamina only after all this. So now, if the teacher is lucky, then what happens? Some people will stay back. Otherwise, what happens? One person will definitely stay in class. And so the teacher will definitely be in class. And Swamiji says, Ekameva dvitiyam. So that is, then only the teacher realizes, oh my God, this is what Ekameva dvitiyam is. Finally, the teacher, after studying all the Shastram in class only, the guy figures it all out. So that process we have to go through that process, you know. We have to go through the process. It is like the child leaving home to go to college and all that. So the parting process is there. It's very painful. Sometimes parents will influence the children to stay, go to the college nearby only. Quietly walk through it. And then without telling, the mother gets what she wants. Father gets what he wants. So, and this guy, poor guy, he got fooled into all this. He wanted to just have a nice time. And then he got stuck. And so, anyway, this is the idea here. And so this process is, an example is given here. Chakracharya. Munjad iva ishikam iva. Iva is like, just like, means as in the following example. Okay, as in the following example. What example? Munjad ishikam. Munjad. From the munja. Munja is a type of grass. From a type of grass. Okay, that grass is a long grass and it is a sharp grass also. And that grass is used in our ceremonies and all, it's used. They use it in many places. So Upanayanam it is used, and marriage also it is used for the lady, for the girl it is used. It's interesting. Marriage, I don't know why we call her girl. She's a woman actually speaking. We keep saying girl and boy, girl and boy. I think that's the tradition. I think we should maintain the tradition. They also like it, I think. So let us keep it that way. so
Because the
Upanayanam,
marriage was happening at the small age, before 7,
something,
10 and all.
something, yeah. So, but now it's not happening like that. Why they still say girl, boy? Okay, so I think it's a way to do it. So that tradition Nobody minds the tradition. So good. So that Upanayanam done at a younger age, this boy, this munja grass, because it is sharp, long and all that, but it is sharp. It will just, if you don't hold it properly, it can cut your fingers. So it has to be handled, and it serves as a protection. That's the idea in the tradition. And so this boy ties it around his waist and all that. There is a particular ritual. Monji Bandhanam, they say. Okay, Monji Bandhanam. So that protection, Veda will give you the protection, like the grass is giving you protection. Likewise, during marriage, the lady also ties this a rope made of this munja grass. And so girdle, she wears that belt. And that's called also Monji Bandhanam. So that munja grass, it has a particular unique feature. It is a sharp grass, but the pith of this grass, the central portion of the grass, like the banana central portion, banana stem, like that, the central portion is soft and tender. And if you have to remove it, you have to carefully operate this grass. Like that, carefully cut through this grass. Otherwise, your finger will be bloodied. And so, like that, muñjādiṣīkamiva, Shankara says, and he borrows it from the favorite Upanishad that we studied, Kathopanishad. I'll give you the mantra number 2317. Angushtamatra Purushaha. I think it is the last mantra of the Upanishad. Angushtamatra Purushontaraatmā Sada Jananam Hridaye Sannivishtaha. There he says Angushtamatra Purusha. Hey, this Purusha, this Brahma is this size of the thumb. Angushtamatra. It's exactly the size of the thumb. It is Purushontaratma. It is there hiding inside the person, it seems. Okay. And then what? Hridaye Sannivishtaha. It is there in the heart. Inside the heart it is there. Okay. And tam swach charirat. Don't write this down. Later on you can look it up. Swach charirat pravurhyet muñjādiṣīkam. There he says. Yamadharmaraja says. So from that heart you have to take it out slowly. Just like you take the ishika, the tender part, out of the munja grass. Like that, Yama had said. Okay, so that here Shankara is borrowing that. And so here, muñjādiṣīkamiva, like that, what to do here? dṛśyavargāt. dṛśyavargāt ātmānam vivicya. That's the way. Those are the three words you have to underline. dṛśyavargāt ātmānam vivicya. Vivicya is the verb I told you. So, vivicya. First, let's look at the verb. Which dhatu? Which? Vivekaha. Same thing. That vivekaha comes from the same which dhatu. Which means, which dhatu, which means, okay, so pun intended, I suppose. So, which is Rudadigana, Sanskrit students, okay, Runaddi, etc. So, which that? Vinakti, like that it conjugates. Vinakti. Where did we see Vinakti? Where did we see Vinakti? Suddenly it comes to me. Okay. So, Kathopanishad. Shreyascha preyascha manushyametah tau samparitya vivinakti dhiraha. That is where it came. There also he said, Yama was saying, hey, there are two lifestyles called Shreyas and Preyas, and the Dhiraha, the Kaschit Dhiraha has to differentiate the lifestyle called Preyas from lifestyle called Shreyas. There he used the word Vivinakti. Same thing here, Vivicya. Vivicya means having done that Vivinakti, having clearly separated ātmā and anātmā. Okay, he says here, Vivicya, ātmānam vivicya. Ātmā. that Atma has to be separated. Which dhatu? To separate. Alag karna. To separate. To distinguish. Vibhag karna. All these meanings are there for which dhatu. And so, Atmanam vivicya. Taking that Atma out somehow. That taking it out. From where I should take it out? dṛśyavargāt. dṛśyavargāt. Whatever you see. dṛśyasamūhāt. dṛśyaprapañcāt. Whatever I see is not Atma. Anātmā. That I know. I'm not this galaxy. I know all this. I know I'm not the tree and all that. Yeah, you know, I'm not the book. That also you know. What about the body? Do you see it or not? Yeah, put the body also in that dṛśyavarga. Okay, dṛśyasamūha. So dṛśyavargāt. From that dṛśyavarga, from this family of all the things that are objects of my perception, objects of my thought, if not perception. If I can think of something, that also is not Atma. Okay, that is anātmā. Therefore, dṛśyavargāt, anātmā. You can fill up the blanks like that. So, ātmānam vivicya. Yeah, Chandrasekhar Bharati Mahaswami says, anātmā samūhāt, dṛśyavargāt, vivicya. And then what kind of Atma it is? That also he says, pratyaṃcam asaṅgam akriyam ātmā. Pratyaṃcamātmā means it is something that is inside, very inside. Pratyak means inside. Pratyak means inside. That's why pratyagātma sometimes that word is used. The Atma that is very inside. It is so inside even a surgeon cannot get to it. And so that kind of inside Atma it is. Why it is inside? Why can't I get it? Because that is the problem. That is the whole problem. I have ignored Atma completely. I don't know who I am. That is a problem. And I have all kinds of ideas. So that is why pratyagatma. That is why angushtamatra purushaha. It is sitting as in a thumb, size of thumb and all that. That is all just poetic. But inside the heart also. So you can't get to anything that is inside the heart. And so here, pratyaṃcam, that Atma, which is pratyak, okay, which is pratyak, very much inside, okay. And so pratyaṃcam, asaṅgam, Atma must have been spoiled, by mixing up with this body and my mind and all that. All kinds of ideas are there and everything. So Atma must be now contaminated. No chance. No chance at all. Thankfully, no chance. Thankfully. Mind also in a way, it is not Sangam. Because when I see a tree, I see a tree. When I look around here and you are coming, friend is coming, hey, come. What happened? What happened to the tree thought? Tree thought is not there. Fortunately, thank God, tree thought is not there. Otherwise, I can't see him that is coming home, her that is coming home. Thought has to go. It can't just stick to me like that, the mind. And so, fortunately, like that, mind should be like that. Should be like that. So, people say thought should be stable and all that. Yeah, thought should be stable and all. In Dhyanam, we try to do that. So that because the mind is running amok and it is not in my control. When I see my friend, I see the friend. When I saw the tree before that, I saw the tree. But when I close my eyes, I shouldn't see anything, no? But no, I see all kinds of stuff. I see a movie itself. That is why we need Dhyanam. So that we can have some mastery over the mind. But like that mind doesn't it seems like it doesn't touch at all. Nothing stays there. And like sometimes in Vedanta class also it happens, asangam, right? A lot of things are coming. But how come nothing stays in my head? Last class, what you taught Guruji itself, I don't remember. Asangam, that's because you're all asangam. That is how I can get away with. And so, asangam. And so, asangohyaham purushaha, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is there. And so, this asangam is critical. That is why all our devatas are sitting on lotus flowers. And that lotus, the asaṅga ātmā, Ishvaraha asaṅga, tvamapi asaṅga. You are also asaṅga. That is how, that is the goal of this teaching. That asaṅga ātmā is what is going to make me say that this karma that is there, anādikāla karma, is really, I am asaṅga. Nothing can touch me. It will touch my body. My body has to follow the karma. No doubt about that. Let the body follow whatever karma it wants to follow. But me, the ātmā, dṛśyavargāt. So I can't. Ātmā cannot be subject to karma. That me. I have to identify with that me. I have to know that me. That's the idea here. And so, Swamiji likes to give the example of electricity. Electricity. Fan is rotating. But fan cannot afford to identify with the object fan. It has to say, you know what, I am fundamentally electricity that makes things move. And so I want to identify with that electricity. Like that. So I'm akriyam, akarta. Look at the next word. Akriyam. Sangam akriyam. Atma is akriyaha, akarta. Even though so many actions are happening, Pashyan, Shrinvan, Sprishan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Swapan, Swashan, Krishna is patiently giving a list of activities, big list, as though you can't cover any, no action can't be covered anyway. Nice, cute, nice look, I like it. Pashyan, Shrinvan, seeing, while listening, while deliberating, while acting, sleeping also. While sleeping, ashtan, gachan, swapan, swashan, breathing also. All activities are going on. Indriyani indriyartheshu vartanta iti dharayan. This muktaḥ is there like that. That person knows ātmā asaṅga, ātmā akarta. Despite so much activity, I am akarta. Like that, that person knows. So that akriyam ātmānam vivicya, separating that akriyam, asangam, pratyaṃcam, ātmā from this dṛśyavargāt, anātmā samuhāt, from anātmā. How do I separate it? Yeah, this grass example is physically you have to separate it. But there the physical part is not highlighted, not to be highlighted. The carefulness, the alertness that is required. Alertness. Alertness is required. That's why I often say, don't keep your video feeds on. Why? You know why? Why it's important for you? Not so much for me, really speaking. I mean, for me, it's important in the sense I want to see, I know all of you, and so I'm connecting with all of you. But for the person listening, if the video feed is turned off, you know what happens? It gives, it encourages the person to look at WhatsApp. All these things, mimicry and all keeps going on. That's it. That for 10 seconds is lost. Not that we are great speakers or anything, but this Shastram is like that. That 10 seconds also is important. That continuity is important because this is only 1 hour that we have, and that 1 hour undivided attention. Otherwise, divided attention. So if the video is on, at least it will discourage me from doing all these highs and buys. Okay, because we are all sitting at our homes. And what to do? The distractions are always there. So that's now the lady came home. I had to open the door. And so all these things are there. And so that is why that alertness is highlighted by this example, muñjādiṣīkamiva, and carefully appreciating what ātmā is, because this is an intellectual problem. The solution also is intellectual. There can't be a physical solution to an intellectual problem. Okay. And so therefore, if I separate it all out, then anātmā, 5 attributes are there. What are the 5 attributes of anātmā? Dṛśyatvam. Okay. Dṛśyatvam. Dṛśyatvam, and then panchabhautikam. Okay. So let me explain that. S- It is an object. Anātmā is dṛśya vastu, dṛśya vishaya, not the drik. Drik is ātmā. Dṛśya, that which is perceived, that which is seen, that which is objectified is anātmā. So anātmā comes in the category of dṛśyatvam. Then panchabhautikam. Hey, it is made. It is made of panchabhutas. In our science, panchabhuta. It's made of atoms, molecules, energy, whatever in science. But for us, panchabhautikam. It's a panchabhautikam. What about ātmā? Apanchabhautikam. It's not a product of panchabhutas. It is the cause of all the panchabhutas. And so, panchabhautikam versus apanchabhautikam. Dṛśyatvam, adṛśyatvam is there. Then what? Then sagunatvam. Once you say dṛśya, then gunas will be there. Some attributes have to be given. Only then you can identify things. Because now the sense organs are operating. Mind is operating. And mind needs something to grasp. And that which makes the mind grasp is a guna. And so sagunatvam has to be there for anātmā. What about this one? Ātmā. Anātmā, ātmā. Nirgunatvam. No guna. Absolutely no guna. Guna will be sustained by aguna. Okay. All right. Then savikaratvam. Once guna is there, an object, if you say, then change is automatic. Change follows. No attribute just stays same. Size, shape, color, everything. Color fades. Color comes, color fades. Okay. This is how it is. So that is savikaratvam. What about ātmā? Nirvikaratvam. Vikaraha na vidyate. It doesn't, ātmā does not have any change. It doesn't change. Only the unchanging entity has to support change. This is Vedanta. This is Vedanta. Right. Then last 5 I said. So last is this āgamāpāyitvam. Birth and death. So this coming and going is going to be there. It's like savikaratvam, no doubt. But it comes and goes. शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखदाः आगम अपायुनो नित्याः तां स्थितिक्षस्व भारत मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखदाः. Second chapter. So coming and going. Cold. It's too cold. Yeah. Can you change it? Somewhat I can change it. Then it's still cold. Okay. Then put up with it. Why? Because it is agama pai. Just because it's going to, whatever comes has to go. So try to put up with it for some time. Okay. That is called agama pai. Coming and going. It is of that nature. These are the 5 attributes of anātmā. Opposite of that has to be 5 things we can talk about for ātmā. Opposite. So adṛśyatvam, apanchabhautikam, agunatvam or nirgunatvam, and then nirvikaratvam and anāgamāpāyitvam. And that is how you can get to ātmā. As what? Ātmā is that which is neither a product, a part or a product or a property of the body. Ātmā is the self-evident consciousness which sustains, which enlivens the body, which makes the body appear, which makes you think the body is conscious. When the body really is not conscious, body is jadam. Okay, it's like the fan thinking somehow I'm the guy who's doing stuff. When I'm not the guy who's doing stuff. The capacity to do has come from electricity. All right, so that is the second. Third one, ātmā. What is consciousness? Chaitanyam. Ātmā extends beyond the boundaries of the body. Yeah, Shanti was telling it. So beyond the boundaries of the body, oh my God, that also, yes, that also, thankfully. Then ātmā survives even after the death of the body. Critical. Amartyaha. This is how we name our children, Amartyaha. So Amartya Sen is there. So Amartyaha. then what? Then ātmā requires anātmā for ātmā to express itself. That's the idea. By itself, ātmā doesn't need anything. It doesn't need to express itself anywhere. But for us to talk about ātmā, we have to associate with anātmā first. That is why the teaching is like that. Going through anātmā, through the pathway of anātmā, only you can reach ātmā. Like you want to reach our government officials in India. So then you find that there are layers and layers you have to go through. Layers and layers, you have to peel the onion. So many layers you have to pay, you have to bribe all these people. So like that here also, anātmā, layers, panchakoshas are there. All right. So that's the idea here. And all right. So that is why we see in Nirvana Shatkam, Shankara says differently. Mano buddhi ahankara chittani naham. So that vivicya, anātmānam dṛśyavargāt vivicya. There the dṛśyavarga is what? Manaha, buddhi, mano buddhi ahankara chittam. Chittam is memory. Naham, aham na. So there, here. Ātmānam dṛśyavargāt. That dṛśyavarga is big list of dṛśyavarga is given in Nirvana Shatkam. Correct? Na gurur no naiva shishyaha. What about guru? Does it come under ātmā or anātmā? You must confidently say, confidently you can say, if the guru gets upset if you say guru is anātmā, then that is good. That's a good sign that you should look for another guru. Correct? It's a good sign actually. Na gurur naiva shishyaha. Atma is neither shishya nor guru. And so na mata, na pita, all that big list he has given. Chidananda, then who am I? Chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham. Like that, he does that. Ātmānam dṛśyavargāt vivicya. He does that there in Nirvana Shatkam. And there is a joke that Swamiji, Puja Swamiji is known for a joke. If I say that, maybe 2-3 minutes, I'll say it. This guy in the village seems the boy is getting married. So this women's family and all are coming to see the boy. And he has to dress up and all that, properly. But the problem, this guy has a nice veshti, dhoti, dhoti. But he doesn't have this angavastram. Uttariyam is not there. So he called his friend, come on, give me your uttariyam. I want to wear it. So today, there is a particular, at 10 o'clock in the morning. And that friend is the best man. Means the friend is the one who's going to introduce. The boy cannot say, I am the boy. Like that you can't say, Somebody has to come and introduce. So this guy comes. So this Vivek is the boy. Welcome. Thank you for coming. And the dhoti belongs to him. Angavastram belongs to me. Like that he introduces to everybody. And then this is a shock for everybody. And this after everybody leaves, he says, what are you saying? What are you doing? Angavastram belongs to me. What's your problem? The next girl comes. Then he says, he's the boy. Then dhoti belongs to him. Angavastram also belongs to him. Like that he's introducing. And so this boy, this is not the best man. He's the worst man, really speaking. Angavastram also belongs to him. And so like this some story goes. So that identification is there with the Angavastra. So like that I have to come back and develop my identity with ātmā. I have to let go of all the things that I'm identified with and come back to myself. So Swamiji says, Paramatmanandaji, the jnani is like this best man. Really? Jnani is like the best man? Yeah. He disidentifies with everything and just identifies with just one thing. Just one thing. That's all. And so, sarvaṃ pravilāpya. All right. Tadātmanā tiṣṭhati yassa muktaḥ. So we'll complete this. See, sarvaṃ pravilāpya. Sarvaṃ pravilāpya. Okay, I think I should continue it in the next class because otherwise these are all important words in Vedanta. Pravilāpanam and all is there. So we'll do that in the next class. No hurry. Good. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om